Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Getting closer and closer to the end of the year. Before we get into our Bible trivia questions today, I ask you a couple more questions like I normally do. My first question is this: what do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear, of course. Why are vampires so easy to fool? Because they're suckers. Oh, man, these jokes. All right, let's get on to our Bible trivia questions. It's going to be 10 questions altogether. Worth a point apiece, and then 2 bonus questions. And so let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, what happened to Elimelech and Naomi, 2 sons, after they married Moabite women? They became outcast, they died, they became ill. Ruth 1 verse 5 tells us that they died. How long had Naomi's son been married before they died? Was it 10 years, 11 years, or 12 years? Ruth 1 verse 4 tells us that it was 11 years. Number 3, after the death of her sons, where were Naomi and her daughter-in-law planning on going? Bethlehem, Jerusalem, or the land of Judah? Ruth 1 verses 6 through 7 tells us they were going to go to the land of Judah. Where did Naomi tell her daughters-in-law to go? The marketplace, to an inn, or their mother's house? Ruth 1:8 tells us that she told them to go to their mother's house. Number 5, when Naomi encouraged her daughters-in-law to return to their parents, who wouldn't leave her? Was it Ruth, Orpah, or Naomi? Ruth 1:14 tells us that it was Ruth. Okay, here's your bonus question. Who returned home? Who was it that returned home? It was the other daughter-in-law. All you got to do is remember her name. Ruth 1 verses 14 through 15 tells it was Orpah. What a name. All right, let's move on to our next set of questions. Number 1, what happened to David after the death of Absalom? He went into hiding, he was restored to the throne, or he appointed Adonijah king? 2 Samuel 19 verse 22 tells us that he was restored to the throne. Number 2, after Absalom, who was the next rebel, or let me start over again. After Absalom, who was the next rebel to rise up against David? Was it Sheba, Joab, or Amasa? 2 Samuel 20, verse number 1, tells us that it was Sheba. After Sheba was slain and his rebellion stopped, what was the next trial David and his people faced? Was it a famine, a plague, or a drought? 2 Samuel 21, verse number 1, tells us that it was a famine. Number 4, which of David's sons intended to be the next king of Israel? Was it Nathan, Shimei, or Adonijah? Adonijah? I'm probably mispronouncing. Just I can't talk today. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. Anyway, which one of those 3 is it? 1 Kings 1 verses 18 through 19. It is Adonijah. Again, if I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. Some of these Old Testament names, they throw me for a loop. Number 5, which of the sons did Besheba ask David to select as the next king? So which of their sons did Besheba ask David to select as the next king? Was it Nathan, Solomon, or Shobab? 1 Kings 1 verse 17 is Solomon. All right, here's your bonus question. Who anointed Solomon as king? Who anointed Solomon as king? The answer is found in 1 Kings 1 verse 39. Zadok the priest. Now, I'll tell you, I think that these last bit of questions, unless you just read that recently, you have that down as, I bet some of y'all struggled with that. I would have struggled with that if I didn't have the questions and the answers. So let me know how you did in the comments. I'd be really impressed if you actually got most of those right. And if you got all of them right, I'll be blown away. All right, you have a wonderful day.